Okay, packages supplies of 5 pens, 3 highlighters, and 10 pencils. The cost of each pen is 25 cents. So since it talks about each pen is 25 cents and there's 5 pens, I'm going to highlight those with the same color, okay? Each pencil is 10 cents and there's 10 pencils. And then there's one more and it says the cost of each highlighter is H and there's 3 highlighters. Now that word in there for each one, the cost of the highlighters is, it says each. So each, for each pencil or whatever, it's 25 cents, pen or pencil. So if you have, 5 of them, it's 25 cents each. If there's 3, 25 cents each. So you could add them or you can multiply. So see, when you see that word each, in this situation, it means to multiply, okay? So each is going to multiply. So I have 5 times 25 cents. Since it's 25 cents, I have to put 0.25. And then I also have the pencils. So I have 10 pencils, so that's 10 times 0.10 for 10 cents. And then you also have the highlighters. And the highlighters are H. So I put 3H. Now, you can simplify that. So I would multiply, this is my pens, so multiply your pens, 5 times 25, that is going to be $1.25. And for my pencils, that was the 10 times 10 cents, and that is $1. And then the 3H, I can't do anything to that, so I just bring it down. Now, you can simplify this next part. I can go ahead and add $1.25 plus $1, so that would give me $2.25. And then plus 3H. Now, I cannot go any further because 225 does not have a variable and 3H does. So that is my final answer. And all they wanted was an equation. So this is my equation. Okay? On number 2, the key word is perimeter. And on perimeter, remember that the word rim tells you to add the sides. Okay, rim tells me add the sides, perimeter around the sides. Okay, so look at your sides and let's see what we have. This side is 2x minus 1. Okay, that's what that is, 2x minus 1. And then I have the bottom, which is 4x plus 6. On the right side, notice this side is the same. Okay. It is the same as my left. And so I am also going to put 2x minus 1 on the left. And then the top is the same as the bottom. So I'm going to write 4x plus 6. Okay? Now, since I'm adding the sides, I want to see which terms are the same. 2x has an x, 4x has an x, 2x has an x, and 4x has an x. So I can add all those together. And when I add those together, I get 12. Don't forget your variable x. And then all the ones that do not have a number, now notice that is minus 1 plus 6 minus 1 plus 6. So in your calculator, you need to plug in -1 plus 6, minus 1 plus 6. Or you could hit -1 plus 6 plus a -1 plus 6. Either way, you can either hit -1 or plus a -1. But when you do that, you get plus 10. And then I cannot add those two terms together because the first term has an x, the second term does not. So that is my answer. On number 3, they want to know if it is a function. And remember, if it's a function, I look at the x values. So when I look at those x values, do any of those repeat? Yes, the 6's repeat. So is it a function? No, because the 6's repeat. On number 4, you have candy that's sold in 12-ounce packages. Write an equation. Okay, so I just want an equation to find how many ounces were sold if there were 90 packages. Okay, so this tells me about a package, and there's 90 packages sold, okay? So notice it says in, okay, 12-ounce packages. So one package has 12 ounces, another package has 12 ounces, another package has 12 ounces. So if I had 3 packages, that I could add those, or I could do 3 times 12. But I don't have 3 packages, I have 90 packages. So I need to say 90 times 12. And 90 times 12 would give me the total amount of ounces. Okay? And then 90 times 12, I can just multiply that because there's not a variable. And so that's 1,080 ounces. And then that's your answer. So there's your equation, but since I had my equation, that's my equation. But since I didn't have a variable, I could solve it, okay? On number 5, they want you to find the area of the parallelogram. Now remember, area for a parallelogram is the same thing as area for a rectangle, which is base times height. And remember, for base and height, don't be a loser, look for the right angle, okay? So here's my right angle, and there was a typo on your page. If you'll just mark out what is there, there should be a 6. This was kind of cut off, just put a 6 right there. Make sure it looks that way. So the base is the bottom, okay? The base is the bottom of that right angle. So here's my right angle, here is the base. And that base number is a 6, okay? So wherever I see the B, I'm going to replace it with a 6. And then the height is the vertical part. That's what the height is. So that vertical part is this x plus 4. So in the H, I'm going to put x plus 4. Now, if I have, and then I'm looking for area, okay? If I have a number next to parentheses, remember this, like anytime you see parentheses, you need to think, oh my goodness, I need to multiply. And I have to multiply the 6 with both of the things in there, not just one of them. You have to multiply with everything that's in parentheses. So 6 times x is 6x. 6 times 4 is 24, and it's a positive 24, so I put plus. So that is my answer, 6x plus 24. On number 6, they want you to look at the ordered pairs, and they want you to tell if it's a function, okay? And first of all, I'm going to see if it's a function or not. So look at your x values. My x values are on the top. So -2, 0, 1, 3, 10. None of them repeat, so is it a function? Yes, because nothing repeats. And then the second thing they wanted you to do is they wanted you to write ordered pairs, okay? They wanted you to write ordered pairs. So my ordered pairs, see my x, y, this makes an ordered pair. So this is an ordered pair. So that ordered pair would be -2, 5. This ordered pair would be 0, -4. This one would be 1, 6. This one would be 3, -9. And this one would be 10, -4. On number 7, they want you to find the solution for an equation, and it gives you a replacement set. Now, remember, when there's a replacement set, look for that equation. And my equation, notice it has x equals, and it has this whole thing. So I'm going to start with that. Now, the replacement set, it gives me 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 of them. So I'm going to have 4 different problems. I'm just going to do one at a time. So start with your original problem, x equals 2x minus 3. Okay, that's what I'm going to start with. Now, since my first number is a 1, that means wherever I see an x, I'm going to plug in a 1. Okay, so I have 1 equals 2 parentheses 1 minus 3. And if the 1 comes down, equals. When I put this in the calculator, okay, so I'm going to put this part right here in the calculator because there's not a variable. When I do that, I get a -1. Now, does 1 equal -1? No. So 1 does not work, okay? So I'm going to start with my equation again. So I write down x equals 2x minus 3. This time, my replacement is a 2. So wherever I see an x, I'm going to plug in a 2. Okay? So 2 equals 2 parentheses 2 minus 3. Now this 2 comes down, but on the right side, I plug that in my calculator. And when I plug that in, I get a 1. Does 2 equal 1? No. So 2 doesn't work. Okay? So I write my equation again. My original equation, x equals 2x minus 3. My next solution is 3. That's what I'm going to try. So wherever I see an x, I plug in a 3. So I have 3 equals 2 parentheses 3 minus 3. So 3 equals 6 minus 3, which is 3 equals 3. That is true. That is a true one. So 3 is my solution. That means it makes it true. Solution just means what makes it true. And 3 makes it true. So that would be my answer. And a lot of times you will see it in the curly brackets. Number 8, it gives you another equation and it wants you to find the range. But look what it gives you. Okay, it gives you an equation. Anytime you see an equation, I want you to circle that equation. And look what else it gives you. It says the domain with values from 20 to 25. Now, when you hear domain and range, set up a T-chart. Okay, domain are your x values. So in the x column, it says 20 to 25. So that means I have to say 20 and then count, just like you're counting numbers. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. It says 20 to 25. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in there, okay? Now I'm going to do just like I did a while ago. I'm going to start with my equation. 3 parentheses x minus 9, close parentheses. And this is like a big replacement set. The very first number I'm going to plug in is a 20. So wherever I see x, I'm going to plug in 20. Okay? So 3 parentheses 20 minus 9. Now you plug that into your calculator and you get 33. So beside 20, I put 33. Okay? My next number, so I write my equation down. 3 parentheses x minus 9. My next number to replace is 21. So wherever you see x, plug in 21. And when you plug that into your calculator, you get 36. So 21 is 36. And then I do it again. So I start with my original equation, but my next number that I replace, and you just keep going down the line, next number is 22. So wherever you see x, you're going to plug in a 22. And then you put that in your calculator and you get 39. So when I plug in 22, I get 39. And then you do it again. Start with your, every time I'm starting with my original equation. This time I'm going to plug in, for x, I'm going to plug in 23 for x. So 23 minus 9. And when I plug that in, I get 42. Okay. And then we're going to do it again. So 3, every time I start with the same equation, every single time, it's the same thing, 24. So wherever you see x, you plug in 24. And then plug it in your calculator, and you get 45. And some of you can see the pattern over to the side, and so if you see that pattern, that's fabulous. I'm going to come over here to finish it off. Last one that I plug in is going to be 25. And it's 48. Now, the question said, what is find the range? The range is the y column. So if they want the range, this is the answer that they want. So